Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Next Level Live. And as you know, we have the upcoming Next Level conference known as the Profit Sprint Conference, where we are bringing together some of the best minds in investing and wealth building strategies. Okay, and tonight, we are going to feature two speakers that will be speaking on the Next Level conference. Now, before we bring them up, okay, I just want to make sure that if you guys have not registered for your spot in the conference, which will be happening this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., can we just put up the link up there so that for those who have not registered can actually register right now. So who some of the speakers that will be featured are none other than our Next Level founder Sean, where he will also be talking a little bit on quant, how to use AI trading. And then we also have Ken Honda, who is one of the top 50 most influential people in Japan, where he will be sharing his wealth strategies. And we have many, many more, right? We also will be covering crypto. We'll be covering faceless YouTube. So there are many, many ways to make money, to learn how to make money, and you want to make sure that you guys are registered. So is our link there? Okay, so if you have not registered, just take note that this is the link where you can register a free spot. Is going to be a full day of free training. Now, first off, we have Leslie Liu, okay, who is the co-founder of Crypto Learn SG. Okay, now just a little bit about Leslie is that he started his crypto journey since 2016, and he has guided thousands through the ups and downs of the fast-moving crypto opportunity, right? And joining him, we have Borwen, who is our Next Level CEO, and he's also a strategic and wise investor, okay? And he has a knack of spotting the right opportunity, and he has placed his time and money into many, many different growth areas. And right now, the space he has identified is AI. So today, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know about AI and crypto, and today's topic is about these are ultra growth opportunities. The question is, are we too late? So before we actually get their opinion on that, we also want to take this chance to get to know them better, hear their perspective, and also have a taste of the insights, of what they are going to share in the Next Level conference that is happening on Saturday, 30th August. Okay, now of course we want this session to be really interactive. So if you have questions, okay, do drop them in the chat, because this is the only opportunity where you can get up close and personal with them. And yeah, feel free to ask questions, okay? And we'll pick some to bring into the discussion, right? So ladies and gentlemen, if let's say you guys are ready, okay, can you type GE for good evening in the chat? So at least I know that you guys can hear us loud and clear. Can everyone type GE in the chat? Okay, now, so before we start, let's get to know our two guests better, right? So maybe I'll ask Leslie first. Okay, so Leslie, can you just share with us, like, how do you first get into crypto? And as we know, crypto is always kind of like up and down. How do you actually go through that?
Okay, hi everybody, and thanks Liner for the kind introduction, and hello to Bowen as well. Yes, yeah, regarding this question, I get it a lot. Yeah, like why, how did I get started in crypto and stuff like that. I think for a very long time, for more than 10 years now already, I think probably 14 years back, I started investing in stocks actually and equity and the US stocks. So naturally, I'm more exposed to all the different investment vehicles. Yeah, and in 2014, actually, I heard of Bitcoin. But to be honest, at that point in time, right, I also felt that Bitcoin was a scam. So I was like many others as well, like, oh, Bitcoin seems like very, very fluffy, the ideas and things like that. Yes, and I didn't go in. I think back then Bitcoin was, if I didn't remember wrongly, it was less than $100. Wow, too bad, yes. But it's okay. 2016 when it was about 600 over dollars really. Most people feel that you probably missed the boat, right? If let's say it's from $100 to $600, like 600% returns in 2 years. Yeah, but I get to know more about Bitcoin, read more about it, and then once you are more convinced or you are more knowledgeable about a topic or an investment vehicle, if you like, I think naturally you become more convinced, you become more convicted, and then you have more confidence in this investment. So I think this is very important, and that's how I managed to go through the ups and downs as well. So I think ultimately you need to really understand what you invest. Yes.
Understand. Okay, so following up on that question, for Leslie, right? Okay, so you mentioned like Bitcoin, like you heard about Bitcoin, you thought it was a scam, but 2016 you went into Bitcoin. So I'm assuming that Bitcoin was probably the start of your journey. Like, what made you change your mind about Bitcoin?
Okay. I think a lot of us are also stock investors. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So those who are stock investors, we can type S in the chat so we know that you are also investing in stock. So I started from that. And I also do what we call value investing. And back then, right, even now, the value investors don't really believe in crypto or Bitcoin because why? There's no way to actually properly calculate what we call the intrinsic value and stuff like that. Yeah, that was what pushes me away back then in Bitcoin. And what changed my mind, it's also I later realized I look at it more like a technology point of view rather than asset class point back then 2016. But I think at this point in time it's more like both, you see. Yeah, it's the technology itself is also the asset, yeah, by itself. So I think that was what changed my mind, I would say.
Awesome. It's because of the technology, all right? Okay, awesome. Thank you, Leslie. So, Bowen, I think everyone is wondering, your side is quite bright. How come you're wearing glasses?
Okay, so yeah, hi everyone. This is Borwen here. So I think just now, Liner introduced me as the CEO of Next Level. So this is also a new role that I'm in. So for those of you who don't know, at least this is I'm happy to get to see all of you as well, especially for those of you who have been following us or have attended one of our programs from Next Level Academy. Right. So back to the question, why am I wearing a shades? Because I think today the topic that I'm going to talk about, the future is so bright. That my eyes is hurting. That's why I have to actually wear a glasses. Okay, and not only that. Okay, I also wanted to let you guys see from the reflection. How I leverage on AI. To come up with the answers later on. Okay, some of you can see. Hey, I think I saw like ChatGPT. Things like that. Yeah. So anyway, coming back to me, I think for me, I've been in the education line for many years. Okay, I started training since 2015. Okay, and I traveled around the world. Back then, I was actually more on doing investing. Okay, so I traveled to places like Philippines, Hong Kong, UK, where else? I think Taiwan, Malaysia, Vietnam. Okay, so just to name a few, right? But of course, I think right now, as a new role, I think what we want to do is really to bring education to everyone. Okay, and we want to actually equip everyone with the skill set to make what we call real income. Okay, rather than when you go to the school, the school doesn't teach you how to make real income. You have to get a job to get the income that you want, right? But I think that right now with AI, that has also helped us quite a fair bit as well. So I think today I'm very excited to share with all of you over here at the Next Level Live. Okay, and I think this Saturday we are also sharing even more. Okay, at our conference as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing us why the future is super bright. Okay, so now just now you mentioned about okay, so as we are discussing about AI like what was, because you're very good at spotting opportunities, and of course I believe this is the strength that you have, that you are able to bring Next Level to where it is today. But maybe you can share with us, like, when do you actually realize that AI is not just a hype, but it's actually a real opportunity that people can tap on it?
Okay, so I mean, talking about AI, I believe everybody have kind of heard about AI about 2 years back. Some of the big companies are starting to use AI to improve their efficiency and things like that. But what really changed the game, right, is when ChatGPT actually came out. Okay, that literally opens up the whole playing field. Everybody started using. Okay, and you can see that the people, when everybody starts to use ChatGPT, it starts to grow really fast, and you start to see a lot more use cases. Okay, especially when it comes to, for example, design. Nowadays lawyers are afraid of losing their job because you can craft a contract with ChatGPT. Even if, let's say, you are sick, okay, you can actually ask ChatGPT based on the symptoms that you have. ChatGPT will give you the answer. So I would say that this year is really where AI starts to really fly. But I think a lot of people probably have this question: is it already too late and things like that? Later, I will probably touch more. But just to keep it simple, I don't think we are too late. I would say that we are just at a starting point.
Awesome. Just now you mentioned something that really caught my attention. You say that ChatGPT can tell you what symptom, and you're talking about how it can create contract. Don't know whether it can create MC or not. Okay, but anyway. Okay, so for somebody who is meeting you guys for like the very first time, and especially we are talking about crypto and AI. Okay, so maybe I would just want to ask Leslie, like, what is that one thing they should know about your approach, on crypto?
Okay. I think that's a very good question because naturally, when people know that, oh, Leslie, you're investing in crypto, what's the first reaction is that they will think that, oh, I must be someone who is a very high risk taker, I always play with volatility and stuff like that, which actually it's not totally true. Of course, with crypto itself is a product that has huge volatility. But I always tell people during my students and whatever, I say that when the instrument is risky, our method, right, should actually be conservative. You know what I mean? Yeah. So because if you use risky method on a risky instrument, then it's double the risk. Then it's going to be very, very dangerous. Okay. So what we do is actually a very systematic approach. I would say almost emotionless type of system. Okay, why? Because very often we use our emotion. It can be greed, it can be fear, right? To buy and sell, which is actually very, very risky. So with a proper system, that's what we do. And I always tell my student that actually I'm very chicken one, and that's I feel that is actually the the reason why I can succeed in crypto, because why it is so risky, right? But if you approach it with a very safe method, with a very conservative method, you can be profitable. And more importantly, I think is consistent profit. Yeah, it's not by luck, because yes, if you can be by luck, you can be a gambler. You pick one coin and then you go up by 10,000%. Yes, okay, then good for you. I'll say the luck is on your side, but I think that is not replicable. That is very, very important. But our system, our strategy is very replicable. And all these we of course share more during the conference that Liner has mentioned a few times already. Yeah. So if you have not registered, don't miss that out. Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, if you're caught what Leslie say, the secret to succeeding in crypto is actually consistency and being conservative, right? So what about Bowen? When we talk about AI, and just now you mentioned ChatGPT, right? And we know that ChatGPT, is something that can help us to improve our productivity, can help us to do things faster with much lesser time. But in terms of AI, like, maybe you can share with us some case studies, like how people can actually potentially make money from AI itself.
Okay, sure. So maybe I'll just use the founder of ChatGPT. Okay, so recently, when I was watching an interview, so he actually shared that because a lot of people ask whether does ChatGPT or AI makes people lazy. Because in the past, certain things we still have to go and find for answer, but nowadays you just ask ChatGPT and the answer will actually just appear in front of you, whereby do you even have to think? Like, in the past we have to write, maybe you have to write an interview, you have to write your resume and things like that. But nowadays, people are not even writing. People are just prompting ChatGPT to actually write for them. Okay, but that is where we have to look at it from a different perspective, because he mentioned that back then, when he was still very, very young, he actually spent a lot of time to create a game. Okay, but because, right, sometimes you have the creativity, but you don't have the technical knowledge. So it takes you a lot of time to even create a game. Okay, so either you have to learn, how to do the coding, write the codes, before creating your first game. His first game was Snake. I think it was Snake and Ladder and things like that. Those kind of very, very basic game. But right now, okay, even without the knowledge, right, as long as you have the creativity, or you have something that you want to do and you're not sure whether is it possible, you can also create a game. Okay, so it actually forces people to actually do things and try things that they have never ever think of doing before. Okay, so I feel that think of AI as like a leverage tool. If you have a skill set and now I give you AI, you can 10x this skill set. But if let's say today you don't have a skill set, I give you AI. To be honest, you don't know what AI can do. You thought that it is just, asking ChatGPT simple questions, like how you use Google. But to be honest, it is way more powerful than Google. Easily like 100 or 1,000 times better. Yep.
Awesome. So is there any, okay, if let's say we can pick like one case, like any case that we can use, like how AI can potentially help maybe a business bring more sales or what? Is there any case study that
Yeah,
you...
definitely. I think especially for our business, for example, one of the areas is actually cost saving. Okay, because for our business, for example, the first thing is you need to generate leads. So for me to generate leads, first I have to actually come out with all the copywriting. I have to get a designer to come out with the design. I have to actually, look at, what are the different angles and everything. So all this requires manpower. Okay, but right now with AI, first of all, okay, I can have one person to actually do all the things. I don't need a designer to create a design. Okay, I don't need, a copywriter to actually help me write a copy. Okay, and not only that, AI can also help you to analyze, okay, and improve the efficiency of, let's say, I'm running ads. Okay, so which means that as a business perspective, it's able to bring down cost. So if let's say today you have this skill set, you can go to businesses that are not yet using AI to reduce their ads cost. You can actually help them to save money, and in exchange, they will be happy to actually pay you. These are just one simple use case that we use for our company. But of course, there are so many, other ways that you can actually use to make money as well.
Awesome. I totally agree. So from what Bowen has mentioned, right, essentially it is every dollar saved is every dollar earned. So I think this is something that's very good, especially if you are in business. It can help you save money. I mean, the more money you save, the more profit, your higher your profit margin, right? Okay, so so Chin actually has a question, and I think some of us who are in the crypto space might have heard of it. There's this recent news on this tokenized exchange saga. And of course, some people get burned because maybe don't have that knowledge or experience. So maybe if you have any advice for people, this is from the audience, right? How, what should they do now, and how can they prevent themselves from getting caught in a situation like this? Maybe you can give us some context also, lah.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. I think for this topic, slightly sensitive, but I will just say whatever I can say. Okay. So I think at this moment regarding the tokenized saga, there is I tell people there's a good and bad news. The good news is that the government is actually on it, the MAS is actually on it. And so there should at least be some answers to the investors. But what's the bad news? The bad news is that we may need to wait, and for how long we don't know. If you remember the FTX incident, it eventually pans out nicely. Everybody gets their money back, but that is like 3-4 years later. So it may take some time for you to get your money back. But at this moment, I'm still 80% confident that people can still get their money back. Yeah. I actually withdrew before that. So yeah, slightly lucky for me. So yes, so for those with the money start, I think the only thing is that let's say you got 20,000 inside or 30,000 inside. The only thing that let's say you have to wait 2 years or 3 years. I think the only downside is that if you get the money back, right, is the downside is that during these 2-3 years you miss the opportunity. You cannot use your 20 or 30K to buy more crypto or whatever, do more investments. Yes, yeah. So I think how to prevent this from happening the next time, it's also very important. So because we are in the space a lot, so sometimes we get, I wouldn't say insider news, but we get news slightly earlier. Why? Because we are in the circle, so we hear from people, we talk to people. Yeah. So I think one important thing is also to join a good community. Okay, so that community can also inform you. So we actually inform our community. Okay, but sadly, because everything happened too fast, not everybody react on the first second or first minute. Right? I think half of them got their money back, half of them still stuck, unfortunately. Yeah. And then secondly, of course, it's always to do what we call self-custody, meaning to say that don't put your crypto in one platform. I think, okay, diversify and self-custody. Don't put your cryptos in one platform, and also buy what we call a hardware wallet or cold wallet, so that you can transfer your coin into your own wallet, which essentially you keep it yourself. Then and then incident like FTX or tokenize will not affect you, because essentially tokenize is doing the custody for you. So if they collapse, then or whatever happens, yeah, they can not give you back the money in that sense.
Right. Thank you, Leslie. So basically, guys, just get your hard wallet and just diversify lah. Don't put all the eggs in one basket lah. So Shirlene has another question. Shirlene has one question asking about Bitcoin, because now Bitcoin, the price is already so high, can still invest or not? Or maybe you can share with us lah. Is there any other alternative that other than Bitcoin but also can have that kind of high growth?
Okay, so okay, this question, right, we get it all the time. When Bitcoin is 10,000, people also ask, or went up so much, you still can invest or not? Okay, is it too late? I always say that actually, right, it's always too late. Okay, because why? Bitcoin started from less than a 10 cent, right? Okay, we didn't get in $10, we didn't get in, but it's always but okay, the question here is, right, is there still opportunity? Okay, if that is your answer question, I would say yes, there is still opportunity. But if you ask me, Bitcoin went up so much, over 100K, still can invest on. Very hard to give you a yes or no answer. Okay, but is there still opportunity? That's a question. Okay, so I give a bit of a teaser of what you will actually learn also and find out more during the conference. Is that actually at this moment, right, we there's a rotation. Okay, why Bitcoin go down so much? And if you look at Ethereum or Solana, right, the next two biggest, except for we don't talk about stable coins, these two, they didn't drop much. Okay, this is a sign of rotation from Bitcoin to what we call altcoins, which means the other coins. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay, but got one more coin didn't drop too much, and I think got a bit of check. You want to know or not? You want to know type B for bonus. I
Nice.
review at the end. Lionel, you remind me later. They say
Later, okay, so guys, later we remind
Leslie got
so
B and
the B first. So later we can refer back to the chat and we see the B. Immediately we anchor. We remember. Okay, we better go and ask Leslie. So basically, I think that is also to answer the main question of today's event. Are we too late? To the game, and based on what Leslie says, there's other alternate or altcoins that we can invest in. And of course, if you want to know what is the special bonus coin that answer that he's going to give us, please stay back all the way to the end. All right, so let's next. I just want to ask Bowen. Okay, so for your perspective, are we too late to AI? Because now AI is moving so fast, a lot of people are adopting it. Is there still room for us to get into AI?
Okay, I think as mentioned earlier on, I think we are just at the start of the race Okay, so why a lot of people feel that we are missing out is because the development of AI is so fast. Okay, and you realize that nowadays who are creating the AI? The AI is creating the AI. Okay, yeah. So you have like machine learning and everything. So the speed of new AI coming out, right, is actually way faster. So people always feel that wow, there are always new stuff going on. It seems a little bit overwhelmed. Like should I even get started? Like, or am I really too late to the race? But I can assure you that there are a lot of people who are still not using AI. Okay, and because it is such a new field, okay, how do you define whether are you too late? If you, let's say we talk about 10 is like we are super advanced, like we talk about NVIDIA level, if you're working there, at that kind of level. Okay, so to me, because right now the field is so big, you don't need to reach level 10. If you're at level 2, okay, actually you're better than people who are not yet into AI, who is level 0 or at level 1. If you're at level 4, actually you are better than people who are at level 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so always start off first. I think for people who have not yet started or dive into AI, get started first, get to experience how powerful AI is and try to use it to whatever you're doing, whether it's your work, whether is it if you're a content creator, you can use AI to actually help you to save time, okay, or create even better content as well. Leverage on it, use it to leverage on whatever you are doing. Okay, I think that will be a very, very good start. But always continue to learn because like I said, you might be using this software, but 3 months later, 6 months later, a better software will come out. You probably have to adapt and use something that is even better. All right.
Awesome. So if let's say somebody wants to learn about AI, like where would you like recommend them to like kind of get started?
Well, definitely will be Next Level Academy. So I have to do advertisement for our company. Yeah, but we do actually also run classes to share with people about AI. So that's definitely one place. But of course, the traditional media like Google. I would say that there's also a lot of content. Even nowadays, you can ask AI, to learn about AI. We have ChatGPT. If you want to try something that is new, you can ask Grok as well. There are a lot of other AI tools, out there. Right. So using AI to learn AI, I think that's something that is cool.
Wow, this is awesome. Learning AI to use AI. Because so just now, Bowen mentioned something here about this tool, which I think can rival ChatGPT, right? It's called Grok. So GROK. Is that the one?
GROK.
GROK.ai.
We have a lot, Copilot as well. All the different companies, they are all having their own platform. But I use ChatGPT and Grok the most.
Awesome. ChatGPT and Grok. So guys, remember, use AI to learn AI. All right. And also for those of you who just came in, and Bowen also mentioned that at Next Level we also do free classes for AI, which he will talk more about it in the Next Level conference. So can we just bring up the link for the Next Level conference, especially for those who just joined us and don't know about it. Basically, we have this event. It's a multi-speaker event called the Profit Sprint Conference. Okay, this theme is called Profit Sprint Conference. Can we put the link out there? Right. So for those of you who haven't get your tickets to book your free spot, just come in. It's basically a full day of 9 to 5. You get to learn from different experts in different industry on how to create wealth, how to create active income, how to create passive income. AI is one of them, which Bowen will share with you guys more. And also Leslie, who will be talking about how to spot opportunities in crypto, right? And how do you actually navigate crypto? Okay, great. So so just curious, like both of you are in your industry for quite some time, and of course I understand that Bowen, he's very good at spotting like AI, and you are studying AI for quite some time. Like maybe I'll ask Leslie first. Like, what is one of the misconception you think people have about investing in crypto? Like maybe from your students or what? Is there any misconception that people might have?
There are, but of course, after attending my classes, then they will remove this misconception. Yeah. Okay, so I think really the first misconception about crypto is that it's always what I call that, like there's no fundamentals. It's like a gamble. Or people are just buying what I call the meme coins. I suddenly forget the word. I know that it's like people is not volatile. What's that word? It's like a bit of gamble. People feel that buying
Speculative.
speculative. Yes. Okay, that's the word. They always feel that crypto is just speculation. Yes. But actually it's not entire. It's not true. Okay, there is a proper way to do it. There's proper system, proper strategy to invest, and also there are a lot of fundamentals behind it. There's a lot of technology behind it, and if you really read about it, if you really know about it, you realize that there are a lot. I think just some people also mentioned about this word use cases. There are a lot of use cases of blockchain. In fact, right, a lot of AI projects, right, are also partially using blockchain technology, which is actually the underlying technology behind crypto itself. Yeah. So I think today's topic is pretty interesting. I think these two topics is actually pretty related to each other. Yeah, we will see a lot of AIs being integrated using blockchain also, and I think vice versa.
Awesome. So just curious lah. So personally, like, do you have any use cases of AI with crypto, for your investments?
Yes, actually there are. I think we previously last year, right? Okay, last year I think it was the first. Okay, I wouldn't say it's the first boom. If you want to talk about AI coming out, right, it's actually 20 years ago. Okay, if you all still remember, there's a movie called AI. Yeah, so AI is not new. It's like 20, 30 years already have. So there's the first boom. It dies off a little bit, quiet down a little bit. It come back. But I think it was last year or 2 years ago. Then it started. Yeah, so there are actually a few AI coins, AI related crypto. Okay, So one of the coin, we talked about it previously, is pretty interesting because we know that there's not enough chip, right? There's not enough chip for Nvidia also run out of chip to do to do the AI so-called computing in that sense. Yeah. So because blockchain is about decentralization and transparency, yeah. So if you there's actually a coin, right, that allow people to provide their unused computing power to run the AI system. Yeah, so it's very interesting. Let's say now I'm running my laptop. I'm not using 100% of my RAM or graphic card or whatever. It can be 60% only. So I can actually rent out the 40%. I get to earn some money, yet I still, contribute to the AI system. Yeah, something like that. So I think that's one of the use case that is pretty interesting in terms of AI and crypto together. Yeah. But coming to that, right, actually now I got one more bonus. I suddenly think of there's actually a new a new sector. I want to disclose now or at the end. A new sector of AI related crypto that we should start looking at. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that means you later on you owe us 2 bonus. Okay,
Bonus,
so guys, can you type AI also now? AI. So we also know later. Okay, so later he have one bonus and he got another one AI bonus from
not enough B leh, just now.
not enough B. So you all type B. If not, we forget to scrub the chat, then we forget to ask the question. Okay, then what about like for Bowen? Like I mean, we at Next Level we got such a huge community, right? Then like have you faced like anyone like misunderstand AI or for what it is, or maybe have certain misconception? Have you faced any?
Right. So I think there's different group, okay, depending on which area of AI. But let's just talk about AI, learning AI as a general. Okay, I think some people who are new to AI, they feel that it's very difficult. It's like they are too old, especially a lot of our some of our students, they are the senior group, maybe 50s 60s, so the moment they talk about AI, they feel that it was so difficult, it's for the youngsters, there's no way I can actually learn. And I remember there's actually one student, so before she came for the class, she feels that it's very difficult, there's a lot of technical stuff, but after she walked away, rather during the class, we go through step by step, and she actually followed us through. Okay, and by the end of the class, she actually created content purely on AI. Okay, and the best thing is she got quite a number of followers from that post. Okay, so I think her post is probably better than a lot of content creator out there in terms of the views. So that is really, really the power. Okay, it's really not that difficult for people to actually get started. You just need to get a hang out of it. It's just like riding a bicycle. The first time you ride a bicycle is so freaking difficult. But after you're used to it, some people can do it without a hand. Same goes for driving. The first time you go for your driving lesson, wow, there's so many things to look at it. The rear mirror, the accelerator and things like that. But nowadays, people are driving, with one hand and also the other hand using the phone. Okay. But I mean, it's the same thing. So at the start, it's definitely going to be challenging. But I think as you practice more, you use more, it becomes so easy. And you will really like appreciate that, wow, somebody created AI. Okay, so that's one area. I think the other area that I wanted to talk about is that people feel that AI potentially will replace human. Like, like Terminator, the AI becomes so smart that, the whole world is being controlled by AI. Will that happen? I don't think so, at least as of now. Okay, I don't think AI will completely so-called replace human entirely. But one thing that I'm sure is that people who know how to use AI will replace people who do not know how to use AI. Okay, in fact, I think NVIDIA, Jensen Huang has also mentioned that 100% of their staff are using AI. So if you want to get a job at NVIDIA, okay, you got to know how to use AI. That is like the basic requirement.
Wow. So, I mean, today is also quite competitive. Just riding onto what Bowen has mentioned, I don't know if you guys actually seen the news recently or not. I think it was on 8 Days. So, there's this MediaCorp actor, Channel 8 MediaCorp actor in Singapore. His name called Terrence Chow. He's an ex-actor, right? So he actually has a child who is like in primary school in China, in Shanghai. And they say that in China, it's very common for them to study 10 hours. Like Singapore, the children finish school at 2 o'clock, we already start complaining, but they study for 10 hours. And now the primary school, they are learning AI right now. So can you imagine it's so competitive right now, and everyone is using AI right now. So, okay, so talking about that, let's move on to the next question now. Okay, so with so much volatility in the markets and constant changes in technology such as crypto and AI, right? So how do you decide if it is the right time to put your money and focus into assets like AI and crypto? So maybe I ask Leslie first.
Okay. I think, like I say, there are always opportunities in the market. When I say market, specifically, let's talk about crypto itself, right? And just now I mentioned there are different sectors. There's one bonus sector I'm going to review later, right? So I think different sectors will do well at different time. Yeah. So even let's say we say down market, there will always be money to be made, man. Correct. You hear people, let's say the market not doing well, people still make money in properties, people still make money in investments. Correct. Even during retrenchment, people still have job, correct. So all times actually there are money to be made, there are opportunities. Yeah. So how to spot all these opportunities? I think it's how you decide, right? I think the question is how you decide if it's the right time. So I think you need proper knowledge, proper so-called understanding, okay, of the topic itself. Then you will also be able to follow the narratives properly, and then which sectors are doing well, and then that is where you decide. For example, let's give one at the very start of this. Then we were talking about a Bitcoin go up so high already. Is there still opportunity? So if you don't know, right, you'll feel FOMO. Maybe you just invest. Then that is so-called not the right time, lah. But then I mentioned, right, there's a rotation of funds, into the altcoins, into the Ethereum, Solana, for example. Then, with this kind of information, with this kind of knowledge, then you can decide if it is the right time to invest in certain coins in that particular sector that you're looking at. Yeah, like Bowen mentioned, AI also got different types of AI, correct? Yeah. So which AI is the one that is getting more attention now, or things like that? Yeah, narrative. I think Ivan Chai just mentioned in the chat also.
I see. So it's kind of like follow where the demand is, kind of. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. So talking about AI, okay, so because I know Bowen, you are also a very good stock investor. Like honestly, like do you use AI? Okay, maybe I have two questions now. Like, do you invest in any AI related assets, and also do you use AI to help you to spot opportunities in your investment?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, but I think I want to leave this until the end of today. No, just kidding. Okay. Yeah, if not, I feel a bit FOMO. I got no bonus for everyone. Okay, but yeah, don't worry, I will share right now. Okay, so do I use AI for my research? The answer is yes. Okay, and let me share with you exactly. Let me give you a real exact something that you all can start doing. So in the past, when we watch a YouTube video, right? Okay, you probably, let's say it's a 30 minutes video. You have to spend 30 minutes to watch. Okay, but of course later on somebody developed this called the speed. So you can put 1.5 so you don't spend 30 minutes. Maybe you spend 20 minutes. Okay, but you have to absorb very fast. Okay, but what I do right now is whenever I go to any YouTube, I saw that this topic is something that got me interested, especially like interview. Sometimes it's like 1 hour. So what I will do is once I go to the link to the video, there will be the place where you can get the transcript. Okay, I will just copy the whole transcript. I will throw it into ChatGPT. I will ask them to summarize, okay, and explain in a way, okay, that will benefit me. I'll say, imagine I'm an investor, okay, summarize in a way that is actually useful for me. Then basically, I'll spend about 5 minutes running through, get all the information that I want. I move on to the next video. Okay, and that really helps me to save a lot of time doing research. Especially nowadays, there's a lot of useful video content out there. So I don't really like sit down and spend like half an hour watching. I will use AI to summarize. And the best thing is that whatever you throw into AI, they actually remember. Okay, so later on, you can actually ask them. So based on all the videos that have actually summarized, okay, can you tell me the pros and cons of this particular company? Then they will give you all the answers. But of course, end of the day, as a good investor, you have to make your own perspective, have your own decision making to build your conviction, I would say. But it actually saves you a lot of time doing research as well.
Awesome. So instead of watching one video now with AI's help, basically you can just run through and watch 10 videos using AI's help to summarize.
Yeah, you can watch a lot of videos. You can get the summarized version, the essence of the video at a very, very short period of time. Sometimes you watch this video, the previous video you forgot, but don't worry, AI remember everything. Okay, so they will be able to help you to collate all the information and actually share. But I think I also wanted to touch on a bonus lah. Okay, bonus, because a lot of people nowadays, when it comes to AI stock, people always look at Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft, Palantir. Are they good company? The answer is they are good company. Okay, but the problem is people always say that they are expensive. So how? Okay, good things are always expensive. That's something that we always say. Good things are always expensive. You want cheap and good, a bit hard to find. Okay, so again, if you want cheap and good, not say cannot find, but you have to put in more effort. Okay, and sometimes it will take a bit of time for you to reap the reward. For example, okay, now Nvidia, they are investing a lot in what we call infrastructure. They are building data centers, like crazy, etc., because of the huge demand. But one thing people don't realize is that in order for all these machines to be built, in order for AI to really run at a much higher scale, there is a lot of energy required. Okay, now actually it's not about how fast I build. Of course, that is one thing, like how fast can they build? Okay, the second thing is, do we have enough energy, okay, to supply to such a high demand in terms of the usage? Okay, that is where energy company are actually, earning money like crazy. Okay, so we can look at energy, for example, alternative energy, solar, etc., etc. But don't remember, if I want to open a new solar plant, who are going to benefit? Okay, let's say manufacturing. Okay, so there will be certain industry that actually benefit a lot downstream because of this huge demand, and these are places where people might not see the money yet. The stock might still be undervalued. Okay, but if you start investing in it, I would say that as the demand starts to pick up, people start to realize that's where the stock price will also follow.
Well, that is actually a very powerful tip. Okay, is to look out for opportunities in indirect industry that will contribute into AI. So Leslie, I think your bonus must be even bigger. Must set that. So guys, so I think now knowing this, I think everyone will start to go back and go and research. Which are the energy stocks that they can consider buying? I think that's really good. So everyone can everyone type thank you to Bowen. Okay, this is a very very powerful tip. If you guys don't know. Okay, so so okay, back to Leslie, right? If someone is completely new, right, how should they think about entering such a fast-moving space without getting burned in crypto? And also maybe while answering that, right, because earlier on someone actually asked a question. I think it's Chin, right? Like, which other platform do you also put your money into? So yeah, maybe you can answer this question, right? For a newbie, like, okay, I don't know what I don't know, right? How do I enter such a moving space without getting burned? And yeah, which exchange or would you recommend me? Yeah.
Okay. Of course, we cannot give recommendation in that sense, because all these are in a way financial. But I can tell you what I use. So nothing wrong, So what I use for, okay, if it's very simple, you just want to buy the top few coins, right? Currently, I'm using this website called Independent Reserve. Okay, why do I use that? Because you can use Pay Now for Singaporeans. So I can pay now Sing dollars and it's immediate. Yeah, so it's quite seamless. Yes, and then I think the other one is Coinbase. So Coinbase, it's as you know, it's listed. So it's the financial strength is there, and also you can use Pay Now. Yeah, so these two you can consider looking at them if you're a newbie. Yeah, but also going to your questions like how they can start. When it's so fast paced and things like that, right? Okay, so because it's very daunting, right, for someone to suddenly want to learn about crypto, it's like, hey, it's moved so fast, already, so much has happened already, and all that. But you must imagine this, right? Imagine your grandma wants to learn about internet right now. You don't need to bring her back to 1995 to learn all the way about how 1995 evolved, and you don't need one. Okay, at this point, what she needs to know about internet and start using it. What's the objective? The objective is for her to start using. Maybe she wants to chat on Zoom with her grandson in US, for example. So that's the objective, right? Then just focus on that. That is very simple for you to start. So for crypto, what you want? You want to know how to build a blockchain infrastructure, man? No lah, no need lah. Correct. uh, learn about the strategy, because I think most of you, correct me if I'm wrong, you want to make money on crypto. So that's very straightforward. So just focus on that. You of course you have to know a little bit also lah, like the grandma also need to know how to turn on the laptop lah, and know how to connect the modem. All this maybe simple one. Another analogy is driving. Do you know how to build a car from scratch? You don't need to know also. But simple maintenance, you must at least know where the engine oil is. If engine oil run out, what's the warning sign? All these lah, simple one. But the idea of why you want to learn to drive a car is because brings you from point A to point B. Yeah, so that's the objective. So focus on the objective, then it can be very simple. Yeah. So, but ultimately, of course, education, you have to learn first. So I think, that's one advice I would give if someone wants to, like, completely new to crypto. I think that's where you can start, and that's how you can start.
Awesome. So guys, so there's many programs out there. Most important thing is to get yourself educated, just like what Leslie mentioned about, and we must make sure also what is the objective of learning lah, right? Because I think just like you mentioned there is blockchain and all that, but the question is that do we actually need to learn this, or are we just wanting to learn how to invest to make money? So you need to know what's your objective and learn accordingly so you can save time. So yeah, hey, thanks so much for that, Leslie. So for Borwen right now, because right now currently there's like so many tools to catch up, especially in AI. So like maybe for a start, where would you recommend someone to get started?
Oh, interesting. How to get started? Let me ask ChatGPT. 10 ways to get started. For as a side hustle. Okay, but coming back, if let's say it's me, like let's say
already.
Just ask ChatGPT. Don't ask me. Okay, but coming back, if let's say if it's me, if I want to start something and generate extra income, what would I do? Okay, I would say that I will do something that I am passionate about. For example, I'm passionate in investing. I'm passionate in sharing content. Okay, but of course, in the past, it will take a lot of time for me to collate all this information, to do research and everything. But right now with AI, it takes a lot of time. It's a lot easier, and not only that, I can use, for example, tools like ChatGPT to actually create like a flowchart diagram, that actually helps my audience to actually understand, okay, difficult concepts, and it can make it very, very easy for them. So I would actually start by sharing knowledge, curated knowledge, because like again, it's still a bit like Google. There's so much information on Google, but why do people still pay money to learn from trainers, mentors, and things like that? It's because they offered a condensed, so-called proven framework. Okay, so what I would do is I will still take all this information. I will use AI to help me to collate, into useful information, and I can actually start by charging a small amount. Okay, you don't even have to charge a very, very high amount. Okay, for people who actually want condensed, straight to the point answers. Okay, but at the same time, I think one thing that people would start building is actually this thing called community. Okay, because you realize that nowadays everywhere is knowledge. Okay, but what happened is that people are starting to form their own community, because that is also where you get to exchange ideas. Okay, people start to realize actually, why are we living? It's like you can live literally with a robot, with a computer. That's where people start to find something missing. They want to have connection. Okay, and that is also where I realized that if let's say today, one person, I'm doing research on my own, there are things that I do not know. But if I create a community, everybody is pouring information, sharing different perspectives. Okay, actually it's super, super powerful. So let's say today I want to create a community on AI. I start off by contributing ideas, generating all this useful information, sharing with other people, and later on I invite more people to actually come in. And when you have a community and all that, actually end of the day, when you have database, you are king, because a lot of people will find you and willing to pay you to so-called to be part of your community or to share information to your community. That's where you will make money.
Wow.
Start with something that you're passionate about.
Very good idea. Awesome. So
now everybody start to do the same thing, then I no chance really.
Right. So I think the key thing is you can use AI to build a community, and then you get a lot more ideas from there. I think this is something interesting, and because like what you mentioned, right, having a database is king, right? So okay, so next question, like, do you believe like AI and crypto? Maybe I'll continue the question with Bowen. Okay, do you see them as part of a long-term wealth strategy, or you think it's just like a short-term fad?
100% long term. 100% long term. In fact, I think I mentioned this many times, but I will still repeat. We are at the start of this AI boom. Okay, so think of it. Okay, somebody mentioned about always think of AI like internet back then. Okay, so it's like back then 1996. People started to use internet. Okay, I remember there was about 40 over million people using internet in 1996. And then when it comes to 1998, 1999, there was like 150 million. So that's where the thing starts to fly like crazy. That is also where year 2000 we have this thing called the dot-com bubble. If you ask me, AI, we are now like 1996. People are using it, but it has not reached the point where it has gone crazy. Okay, so potentially would this be a time where there is like a bubble? Potentially, but I would say right now not yet. The bubble not even formed yet. So if you want to make money, there's plenty of money. But of course, when it's time to get out, you need to get out. I think it's same with crypto. I mean, if the thing starts to fly like 1 million next month, you better get out. Okay, but if it's like 1 million in 5 years or a few years, actually it's normal. Okay, as long as it's not a bubble. Yep.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Bowen. Okay, so a question that I would love to ask Leslie is, if let's say someone comes to you with, let's say, $10,000, okay, to start, versus someone with 100K portfolio, like what would your advice on how to get into crypto? Is it the same strategy, same approach, or will it be a completely different approach? 10K and 100K.
Very good question. But I rewind a little bit. Bowen just now talked about 1990s, right? Then you got the 2000, right? Okay, remember 2000, there was this Y2K, no? If you remember, you are quite old, okay? You know what I did, no? During the Y2K, the 31st December, they say the computer will cough out, right? But I waited, no? Waited at my computer to see if my computer will cough out or not. Then nothing happened. I'm quite disappointed. Yeah, there ain't nothing. Okay, it's still normal. I still remember I was in the MRIC. Okay, if you know this, you're also quite old. Okay, so going back to the question, I think in liner question, I was like, if someone comes to me with 10K and 100K, would the advice be different or same? I would say some things will be the same. I would say that in terms of maybe allocation wise, right? I think it should be about the same. It should be about the same. But of course, if you 100K compared to 10K, you can diversify a little bit more. So I think there will still be a slight difference. But I think mostly what is the different we need to take note of, right? It's actually more on the mindset and the mentality. Yes. Because if you manage 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, I can tell you for sure your emotions is going to be very, very, very different. Okay. But the thing is, right, a lot of people will say that, 100K, then you need to be more assured or more more assertive or things like that. But in fact, right, actually, I think it should be the other way around. Okay, why is that so? For example, 10K, right, is a cat, 100K is a tiger, lah, right? So have you seen a cat, right, turn into a tiger before? No such thing. Kind of. So when you're managing the 10K, you must think like a small tiger realist. Then when you reach the 100K, then you will reach 100K. Okay. If you don't have the mentality, you cannot reach the 100K. And then you must continue to have the tiger mindset. Yes. So I think when I say mindset, is actually the discipline. Basically, the discipline, you must control your emotion. How to control emotion? Usually by strategies, by system. A lot of things in the world works like that, right? Why you go to office at 9 a.m.? Because you like it, man. Because it's system. All right, but it works. Why are there exams in school? You like it, man? It's system, but it works. That's why people come up with all this system to I won't say remove emotions because we're human, but I'll say minimize the emotions. And with that, right, your mindset can be like a tiger. So you must start thinking like a small tiger. Even if you start with $1,000, you must think like a tiger. Okay, and not think like a cat. Then you think that, oh, when I become tiger, then I think like a tiger. Too late. Then you will never become a tiger. You just become a bigger cat only.
Got it.
Charlene also agrees with me. Yeah.
So we need to have a tiger mindset. Okay. So Bowen, so for those tuning in tonight, okay, some might want to try AI like a side hustle. Okay. Maybe others already have an intention to start a business, but maybe no idea how to start a business, right? So what advice would you give to each group? Like someone doing like part-time and then someone who's really want to start a new business, how can they leverage on AI? Like both groups.
All right, cool. I think my answers will apply to both, whether you're a business owner or you're somebody who just want to learn about AI. You need to invest in 3 areas, basically with this 10,000. The first step, right, is to invest in knowledge. Okay, because when you invest in knowledge, it's not about saving time. It's not about anything. It's to expand the possibility of how much you can make. For example, if you ask somebody in the primary school, how much can you make? They will tell you, maybe I can make $5, $10 selling eraser, and things like that. But if you ask somebody who is already working, you ask them how much potentially can you make? They will tell you, maybe I can make a few thousand. Okay, you ask a business owner who is making 9-figure, you ask them how much is your potential, how much can you make? They tell you 9-figure. Okay, and the difference is just experience and knowledge. So I'll say use the first amount, invest in knowledge, not just simply because of whatever knowledge, but in terms of the mindset and the possibility you actually want to start off with something that is bigger. The second thing that you want to invest in is the tool. Okay, a lot of AI tools require subscription. Okay, imagine you go to download or you go to the platform and then they say you need to pay money. Then you're like, need to pay money? Don't want. Okay, not that you cannot use the free one. Okay, but of course the free one, there's a lot of limitation. It will take more time. Okay, just like bus and aeroplane. I mean, why do people pay more for aeroplane? Because ultimately it saves time. So same thing the tools, when you go for some of the premium subscription, actually they do help you to save time as well. Okay, and I think last but not least is to pay for a mentor. Okay, I know as cliche as it sounds, because we do offer mentorship. Okay, but one thing you realize is that after investing in knowledge, investing in the tool, okay, you want to find somebody who have done it before, who have walked a lot of make a lot of mistakes, who have went one whole way. So basically having a mentor will tell you exactly what pitfall to avoid, what are the things you need to start doing. Okay, so that will help you to achieve result in the fastest time. Okay, so again, summarize: invest in knowledge, invest in the tool, invest in a mentor. Of course, some of the mentor, if you have somebody who knows how to do it, you can get it for free. That's perfect. But you have to invest time. You have to invest your relationship with this person as well. So also, buy people coffee. If you have people who are experienced in AI, in other fields, invest your time, get to really learn more from them. Okay, I think that is the investment that you need to do.
Awesome. So I think after hearing this, I think Bowen will be receiving a lot of coffee requests. We'll be drinking a lot of coffee this week, next week. Yeah, so I know, Bowen, you also have this community, AI community, right? And so how does it really help people stay updated, with AI too? I mean, there's so many things, it's so fast. Like, how does having that community, maybe you can just expand more on that and at least let people know what this community is about.
Right. I think first thing first is we are always exploring new tools. So whenever we find any tools that, of course, like let's say out of 100 tools that is being created, probably only 1 or 2 that is really more useful, something that is applicable, that you can make money, so we will actually share with our students. Okay, and the way we actually share things is that we do not just want to simply share and then that's it. You do it, you try on your own. We make sure that we have practical session for them to actually go and do it. Okay, because ultimately, hearing is one thing, doing is another thing. The only when you do, you get to really learn how to improve. Okay, but of course, like I said, AI itself is still growing. So we are always also developing and coming out with new advanced tool that is actually helpful, okay, to our students as well. So like I said, it's community. Is it the best? It is always developing. Okay, it is always becoming better and better. That's something that we are building over here.
Yeah, I remember just now earlier on you actually mentioned, right, a lady who has never touched AI, don't really know how to use her computer or computer also. Yeah, and then what happened was that in just one of your classes, right, that you conducted, and then she actually posted the content, and then she had quite a lot of views and even followers from that. I think this is something very encouraging, especially for guys. If let's say you guys are interested to learn about AI, you can check out Borwen's community, which he will be sharing more of it in the next level conference. So again, can we put up the link for the next level conference? For those who missed out earlier, we just put it out again just to make sure that you're able to secure your space, because Borwen will be sharing something really special on how you can actually get into this community, his AI community, right? Now then, back to Leslie, right? So I also know that you also have your community for crypto, and it has been around for quite some time. In fact, you help so many students to grow. So maybe this question is a bit different. I just want to ask you, like, can you share one story of one student success that really stuck with you, and how and does it keep you going to what that made you want to teach?
Okay, yeah, there's actually one student that I remember very well. He's one of my first few students when I started in 2019. Okay, so if you still remember end of 2019, they all still remember towards the end of 2019 and the early 2020 what happened? COVID, correct? And then there was this circuit breaker and all that. And even before that, I think there are a lot of flights were cancelled. You remember because they booked early, ma? So they actually refund the money back to the people who booked the flight. Because fair enough. Okay, so this student of mine, very interestingly, okay, Bitcoin, I remember very clearly, it was 16,000. Then I was saying that, hey, 16,000, wow, this price, you must buy already. COVID drop, I tell you, it's you must buy. Okay, so that's why I say, and know what, he's actually half. He kind of believe and like half lah. Basically, he's not 100% believe. But you know why he started? Okay, he bought the Bitcoin that I say, or not? Because when he bought the air ticket, right, it was bought with GrabPay. So so that back then I think I can't remember the exact details, but he cannot withdraw it. Basically, he cannot withdraw the money. So when SIA or whatever airline refund, right, go back to the GrabPay, then he say, oh, okay, what can I do with the money that's stuck in the GrabPay, few $1,000? Cannot be ordering food that will be ordered for a few months. And I think that time COVID also, I think cannot order food. Okay, but anyway, so he said, hey, then he realized that he can use GrabPay to buy crypto. And then he said, okay, why not? So he just whack everything in. I think it was 5,000 plus or something like that. Okay, and in the end, right, in the next 1 year, right, because he earned money from the Bitcoin already, so he started to get more interested. Then he reads more. He go and follow us more closely in that sense. Okay, so I think it became his portfolio became about 300 over 1,000 after 1 year. So he only put in 5,000. 5,000. He made some money, but to be fair, he also add on he add on funds along the way also. I think total is about 20,000 to about 20 plus to 30K. Yeah, then turn into 300K. Hey, good, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that kept me going in that sense. Of course, other students' success also kept me going, kept our community, our team going as well. I think seeing people succeed, I think it's always a good thing to see. But this story stuck with me. It's like we provide the insights, right? Okay, it's whether do you take the opportunity or not. Although he's like by chance, but indeed he took the chance, and then 300,000, quite solid lah.
Wow. Hey, so now that reminds us, because he managed to grow his money by so many times. So just now, as you have promised, I think now is a time for you to review your special bonus that we have that potentially can help us to 10x, like what Ivan says, 10x.
Oh, I thought y'all forget already, then no need to share. Okay, I got two bonuses, right? Okay. I think the number one is I was talking about this coin that has not fallen so much even for the past few days. We know Bitcoin after hit all-time high then came down, right? And then I was saying that Ethereum and Solana was holding up quite well. Another coin, we usually call this kind of coins OG coin. In crypto, we call OG is original gang. That means the older coins, the older coins that have been there for more than 6, 7, 8 years, that kind of coins and above. Yeah, so this is one of the OG coins that typically does well when the market is bullish. Yeah, it's a coin that do what we call lending protocol. Basically, it's a coin for you to do. Okay, if you think about it in the traditional finance, is you lend money, you borrow money, right, from the bank. Yeah, and that's how they make money. You can borrow crypto from them and stuff like that. Okay, so I don't want to go into a technical, but this coin is called okay, disclaimer first. It's not saying that you now can 100% jump in to buy, but it's something that you can look at and go and understand more about it. If you don't understand it, don't jump in like that. It's called AAVE, AAVE. So you go and see the chart. It didn't drop much.
AAVE.
Yeah, AAVE. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
about
the
the other
other,
one? The other bonus.
yeah. Okay, the other bonus is the sector to look at. If you actually attended, I don't know how many of you attended the previous YouTube live. Actually, I did mention about this one. Yes, it's actually sort of related to AI. That's why it come to my mind suddenly also. There's this thing called IoT, Internet of Things. Yeah. So basically, what are Internet of Things? There are things that can be connected to internet. That means like our car can be connected to internet, our TV can. So all these are Internet of Things. So there's actually like a more advanced IoT. So Internet of Things. So it's called the Internet of Robotic Things. So what are all these robotic things? Right? To put it simply, it's actually AI plus IoT. Yeah. So a few examples of these devices, right? Factory arm, right? That means they can think on their own, because now AI a lot of you need to prompt, right? Uh, so they can think on their own. They can analyze on. So those autonomous car are also IoRT. Okay. So I think this is also the next wave of AI narrative. So I give the AI narrative plus the crypto narrative. So remember, I said a lot of all this AI will also utilize blockchain technology. Yeah. So this is one sector in the blockchain together with this IoRT, right? Yeah. You can look at robotics sector. Has not boomed yet. Will it boom right now? We don't know yet. Or maybe 6 months later, 1 year later, or it can be 2 years later. But it's something that you watch early. So this is how you get like very, very early alpha.
Okay, guys. So just remember, type in the chat IORT. If let's say you all managed to pick out what Leslie says IORT. All right. Okay. So Leslie. So before we go, all right, and before Bowen also go, maybe just give us a glimpse, like what our audience can expect to learn from you during the next level conference called Profit Sprint.
Okay, I go first. Okay, so y'all find value, right? Okay, so far in this 1 hour session, both for myself and Bowen. I hope if you do, type V in the chat, let us know. So at least we feel more encouraged. If not, next time, don't do it. Don't do. Yeah, jokes aside. So if you find value in this, imagine this only 1 hour session, and only the two best. Okay, no, okay, two of the the speakers that is from the conference are here only, right? You already get so value. So imagine how much value you can get, in the whole conference itself. But of course, personally, right, we'll be sharing even more strategy. So I'll be sharing this thing called because a lot of people also think that if you want to start investing in crypto, what do I need to invest a lot of time? Of course, you need like Bowen mentioned, you also need to invest time to go and learn. Definitely, there's still a bit of time you need to spend to understand the topic. But I'm going to share a strategy that is so easy to use. Right? Every day, you only need to use maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day. Yeah, I believe most people will have 15 to 20 minutes. If you don't have, right, you know what you can do now. You just take the 15 to 20 minutes out of the time you watch Netflix or surf the TikTok at night. And then you use that one to make money and pay for your Netflix subscription. Good, right? Yeah, so that's what I will be sharing in the conference itself. So make sure you attend. It will be in 2 days' time, this Saturday.
Awesome. So guys, remember, just take 15 minutes to pay to have a free Netflix subscription. Okay, what about you, Borwen? We all know that you are very good at spotting opportunities. So yeah, what will you be sharing on NLC?
Okay, so for me, the challenge will be for NLC, right? Okay, I think of NLC as, you know, where I actually go and spot all the great trainers out there. Okay, people who are making a lot of money, and usually they don't like to attend such conference or don't like to share. So my job is to spot all of them, right, and get them all to come for this upcoming profit spree. Okay, so think of it as like Avengers lah. You know, so this coming Saturday is really where, you know, we have expert for stock trading, investing, crypto, real estate, you know, and even as far as Japan, we have, you know, Ken Honda, the top 50 most influential guy in Japan, you know, to be part of this conference as well. So that is basically my role, to make sure that all of these experts actually come together. And for me, I'll also be the MC for this coming Saturday as well. So my role is to give a lot of free gift to all of you, especially for those of you who attend. Okay, I have a tool, okay, that allows you to actually combine AI and monetization. That means how you monetize using AI. I will be sharing with you how you can actually get this tool this coming Saturday as well. So for those of you who join us, then you get everything lah. Okay, if you miss it, then you have to wait lah. Maybe next year we'll have another run. Okay, but for this year, you know, likely this will be the last next level conference that we are organizing.
Awesome. Hey, thank you very much, Borwen and Leslie. So guys, remember, if you guys want to get the gifts that Borwen mentioned, and by the way, can we give Leslie and Borwen a big round of applause? So how we do the next level way online, we give them a clap, CCC. So type CCC if you feel that, you know, they have done a good job, and especially Borwen for curating the Avengers of Wealth speakers, you know, to gather all of them at one place to share with them their secrets of creating wealth. Okay, so can we give them a big round of applause? And then if you haven't get your tickets, just remember to click the link, save it, bookmark it somewhere, and remember to register for it, and we will send you the Zoom link on that actual day. All right, so guys, before we leave, can we have, you know, maybe just share, you know, what is one key thing that struck you today? What is one key takeaway that you have for today's session? Okay, so if all of us just share one key learning point, I think everyone will benefit. So like, what is the key thing that you guys have learned today, right? So you guys can type in the chat. Okay, Helen says CCC. Okay, yes, education first. Okay, great, totally agree. Okay, before you jump into anything, make sure you get educated first. Okay, but last but not least, make sure that you want to get educated, come for the next level conference. All right, thank you very much. Okay, it's 9:13, and thank you for being here with us for more than 1 hour. Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll see you on Saturday. See you everyone. Bye.